Oh, g'day. I'm Justin Porter, and today's date is the 9th of February 2025. And I've just been on a live stream with Colin Zafke from Honduras, and it was very touching very emotional for me because Colin Zafke's daughter Cosette has attempted suicide, and fortunately she's still alive, and it's the shunning has led her to attempt suicide because she's only 16 and she's been shunned by her Jehovah's Witness family. And Colin Zafke's channel is called the CO Visit, and I highly recommend you go subscribe to him and support him on his channel because he does a wonderful job. And I also want to say a big hello to Ellie Reno. She's from Washington, United States, and she has a great YouTube channel called Ellie Reno. She's a Christian. She's still a Christian, and she's a ex-Jehovah's Witness, and she really helps out on her channel. She's wonderful. And I also want to give a great big shout out to Britt Hartley. Now, Britt Hartley, that's Britt, B-R-I-T, Hartley, is a ex-Mormon. She's an ex-Mormon. She's only in her 30s. She's about 38. And she's a atheist spiritual director. She's an ex-Mormon, not a Jehovah's Witness, ex-Mormon. And she helps out ex-religious people who have become atheists because when you become an atheist, you lose your relationship with God. You lose your hope of everlasting life, going to heaven, being resurrected, and it can be very daunting becoming an atheist. And her channel is really good for ex-Mormons, ex-Jehovah's Witnesses, but mainly for atheists. Britt Hartley's channel is really good, and her channel is called No Nonsense Spirituality. And she calls herself an atheist spiritual director because atheists can still be spiritual. You can still be spiritual as atheists. Now, today my beautiful wife Nicole has gone to a one-day assembly, and a Jehovah's Witness lady has given her a lift. And Nicole has gone, a one-day assembly. She'll probably be learning all about apostates, how to avoid apostates, and she lives with her her husband, and he's also an atheist too, and I'm an agnostic too, but when it comes to Christianity, I'm actually 100% atheist. Well, I don't believe in Christianity at all. Now, but today I wanted to show you, talking about conventions, Jehovah's Witness one-day assemblies and Jehovah's Witness conventions. Remember during the convention, halfway through the convention, they'd get you to stand up, and we have an announcement. So all the brothers and sisters would stand up at the convention and they'd say, we have a deficit. First, we need hall cleaners. We need cleaners, so if you're available to help cleaning. But then they'll say we have a deficit. We have a deficit of $3,922.98 or something like that. Remember that? They'd say we'd have a deficit. Well, I was watching JT and Lady C. JT and Lady C is one of the very first YouTube channels I ever watched back in 2015. 2014, whenever it was, and he was a treasurer. He did the money, count the money halfway through, and at an assembly day or a convention day, they'd say roughly it'd be $10 a publisher. $10 a publisher, right? So if 1,000 people went to the assembly day or convention day, 1,000 people, you times that by $10. So 1,000 people went. That would be $10,000 for Watchtower. $10,000 for Watchtower. Now, halfway through the convention, if they only had $5,000 in the donation box, they would say, we have a shortfall of, first we need hall cleaners, free labour. We want your free labour. We want you to clean windows, mop floors, clean carpets. But we have a shortfall, brothers, a deficit. We have a deficit of $5,000. So that would encourage the Jehovah's Witnesses to, the goal's 10, there's 1,000 people there. Watchtower's goal, all they think about is gold. Their goal is to get $10,000 because there's 1,000 people going. $10 a person. $10 a person. But remember, you'd wear a little lapel card. Remember the little lapel card? You had a little lapel card you'd put there. You'd have a little lapel card. Now, last year, I didn't go. Declare the Good News 2024 Convention of Jehovah's Witnesses. That's Nicole. She went, without me, of course. But this one here, 2017 Don't Give Up Convention of Jehovah's Witnesses, that's me. That was the very last convention I ever went to, and I was fully woken up by then. I was just trying to get the guts and courage to dissociate, but that took me another 12 months. And that's the 2017. Here we have the Remain Loyal to Jehovah 2016. We have the Imitate Jesus 2015. I kept all these. I saved all these. They'll either have Nicole's name or my name on them. God's Word is Truth 2013 convention. Remain Close to Jehovah 2010 convention. Safeguard Your Heart 2012 convention. Let God's Kingdom Come 2011 convention. We have the Keep on the Watch 2009 convention. We have the Guided by God's Spirit 2008 convention. We have Follow the Christ, that's 2007 convention. And we have Deliverance at Hand, that's the 2006 convention. And we have Godly Obedience Convention 2005. That should be Governing Body Obedience, Obey the Governing Body 2005. And we have Walk with God Convention from 2004. How's that, the Godly Obedience Convention? That was 20 years ago. 2005 was 20 years ago. I can't believe that. Walk with God 2004. And we have Give God Glory 2003. 2003 and going into 2004. So 2003, Give God Glory. Now, that was an international convention. In 2003, and I didn't go to it. I didn't go to the international... No, I did go to the international convention. 2003, it was in Sydney. So living here in Queensland, we travelled all the way down to Sydney, and we stayed with Nikki's sister, who's a do not call in Penrith. Her sister's a do not call in Penrith. So we stayed there. But this one, here's the one I want to look at. Don't Give Up 2017 Convention of Jehovah's Witnesses. Don't give up. Well, I gave up a year later at the age of 57. I couldn't handle it anymore. I could not handle it anymore. So I gave up. And I'm glad I gave up. The shunning was very painful, of course. I'd have to say for the first 5 years, I had to grapple with suicidal thoughts. Now, my father committed suicide when I was 8 years old, and he was 38. He wasn't a Jehovah's Witness, he was a doctor. And my big sister committed suicide at the age of 36 in 1994. In 1994, I was 33. Now, she wasn't a Jehovah's Witness. My sister was an atheist. She was an atheist. And I'm not too sure about my dad. He could have been agnostic. But my sister was an atheist. I think my dad was an agnostic. And they both suicided. Now, as I said, if you are an atheist, if you are a brand new atheist, or agnostic, atheist, Britt Hartley has a really good YouTube channel. It's called No Nonsense Spirituality. And she helps new atheists come to cope with living without the hope of an afterlife and coming to terms with death, because I think a lot of the times it's only atheists actually really do face the reality of what death is. And a lot of the religious people just they kind of don't accept death, they deny death. Now, I'm not judging people who are still Christian or still religious in any way. Good on you. And some people just need religion. They need religion to cope. For example, I would never walk past an elderly Jehovah's Witness at a cart. I would never walk past an elderly Jehovah's Witness at a witnessing cart and try to force my atheism on them, or agnosticism, because I am agnostic atheist. I'm agnostic, but I 100% do not believe in the Christian God. Agnostic, well, I just think Mother Nature's God, I just think Mother Nature's God. Tommy. We have Tommy. He likes to bite me feet. See, I wiggle my toes. And he's no longer an apostate cat. He is a Jehovah's Witness cat, and he is attacking me. He is a Jehovah's Witness cat, and he said, "I'll bite your toes off, you apostate." Oh, he's biting my toes. Tommy the cat. He just likes to chew my toes. He's like a dog. Tommy. Oh, Tommy. Oh. Tommy. Oh, you like to chew those toes. You like to chew those toes, don't you? He says they're made on them bones. He says there's good meat. That's good meat on them bones. There's nothing there's meat under that skin. And in paradise, that's Tommy, the Jehovah's Witness cat. He's not an apostate cat. Nikki's been converting him, and he's attacking the Jehovah's Witness apostate. Yeah. So yeah. Now, I used to love the conventions. I loved the conventions because I loved catching up and meeting new people, and you'd be in a room of a big stadium of 1,000 people. You wouldn't know them from a bar of soap, but they're your brothers and sisters. And I miss the association. I really do. I miss that big family association very much, And, but now I've got new friends. I have new friends, and friends who are different religions. I have a good friend called Ellie Reno. She's a Christian. See, atheists can still be friends with Christians. Hey, I'm best friends with my wife, who's at the convention today. Now, she's a Jehovah's Witness. How can you be friends? You're an apostate atheist, evolutionist. How can I be best friends with a Jehovah's Witness, fully fledged Jehovah's Witness? Well, it can be friends. We can be friends because we love each other, and we love each other because the way we behave. She loves me the way I treat other people, and I love her because the way she treats others. She treats others with love and kindness. My wife never talks bad about anybody. She's a lovely wife. She loves me. She's kind, considerate. She's got all these good qualities. And I try to be as good as I can. As an atheist, some people may say, well, where do you get your morals? Well, I first became an atheist in 2021. No, a bit before that. On the 18th of June, 2020, on the 18th of June 2020, I went to a Pentecostal church that I had been going to since 2019. And I thought, I'm going to come out as an atheist in the Pentecostal church. And when I went to the church that morning, Pentecostal, they sing and talk in tongues. They said, how are you going, Justin? I said, well, I'm good. I told them I'm a born-again atheist. And they said, atheist? And the minister overheard me say atheist. He said, what are you doing in this church if you're an atheist? What are you doing here? And I said, well, I like the community and the songs. I love the music. I love speaking in tongues because as an atheist, I can still speak in tongues. And I would, speak in Swedish, jag älskar du Jesus. I'd say, jag älskar du Jesus, which means I love Jesus. Because I learned a bit of Swedish. I've learned a bit of Swedish because Swedish is the second easiest language for an English person to speak is Swedish. The easiest language for an English speaker to learn is Norwegian, because Norway and Sweden, and the second is Swedish. So the easiest language for an English-speaking person to learn is Norwegian. Second is Swedish. And because Sweden and Norway, they're the Viking countries, and the Vikings invaded Scotland. They went into England, so the Vikings invaded in about the 9th century. The Romans conquered England too, so we have a bit of Latin in English, but we have a lot of Viking. And actually, English is actually a Germanic language, a Viking language. So, So it's very easy. And I started speaking Swedish, Jag älskar du, I love you, Jesus. Jag älskar du, Jesus. And all these Pentecostals were going, Justin speaking tongues. And but on the 18th of June 2020, I came out as an atheist. And the preacher said, well, what are you doing in our church? What are you doing in our church if you're an atheist? And I said, well, I love the companionship and the friends. There's nothing really for atheists. There's nothing really for atheists. But there is now, because there's a church, I don't know, in Australia, I've never been to it, but I think in America they have a Unitarian uniting church. It's called Unitarian Universalist Church, and it's a church where agnostics and atheists go, because you get the church atmosphere of companionship, fellowship, you get the community, and if you ever did lose your loved one in death, you have a community to support you when you're grieving. So it's a church, universalist, Unitarian church, and it's a church especially for agnostics and atheists. And all other people are welcome. All other people are welcome. And I've had a lot, and at the end of the Pentecostal meeting, they're all praying to Jesus out loud, and I was up near the front row, and I said a prayer to Mother Nature. I said, thank you, Mother Nature, for gifting me with life, gifting us all with life. We love you, Mother Nature. May you care for us, and may we care for your precious earth and look after your earth and take care of the earth, because we really love Mother Nature. We love being alive. And that was my prayer. And the minister was sitting in front of me, and after the meeting, he said, "You were praying to Mother Nature. You were praying to Mother Nature." And I said, "Well, I believe Mother Nature's God. I believe Mother Nature's God. The trees, the sky, everything's Mother Nature. Like nature, matter. Humans are carbon. Humans are made out of 1,000 billion year old carbon. Humans are made out of 1,000 billion year old carbon and stardust. That's what we're made out of. So we're made out of that. So maybe we were never made. Maybe the atoms in us, the carbon and molecules and everything, maybe that's always existed, never had a beginning and will never have an end, but is forever evolving and changing into new life forms and new planets and new volcanoes and new oceans and new things all the time. It's forever changing, but maybe it's always existed, because a lot of Christians say, well, who made everything? Or you can say, well, who made God? Who made God? Oh, God's always existed, they say. Well, maybe the matter, the carbon molecules that make up our body, the stardust that makes up our body, maybe that's always existed and is eternally immortal in both ways. We don't know. I'm still agnostic. There's so much we don't know. There's so much we don't know. But as I said, check out Colin Zafke's channel, the CA Visit, really good. And check out Ellie Reno's channel. She's really good. And I'm all for Christianity. If ex-Jehovah's Witnesses become Christians, I'm still friends with them, and I'm happy for them. And I believe that I'm a very happy atheist. I'm happy being an atheist. But if you're happy being a Christian, go for it. If you're happy being whatever belief, I don't care what people believe in. And my wife doesn't care what I believe in. As long as I'm a good person and I treat her with love, she's good. And here's a little illustration. A little child dies and go to heaven. A little child dies, little boy or girl, they die and go to heaven, and they meet Jesus. And the little child says to Jesus, "Where's my mummy? Where's my mummy?" And Jesus says to the little child, "Well, your mummy was a very good mummy, a very good mother, but I had to send her to a burning hell. She's burning in hell because your mummy was an atheist. She didn't believe in me, so she's burning in hell." But see that man over there? That's the man that raped and killed you, but he was a Christian. He became a Christian 10 minutes before they put him in the electric chair. 10 minutes before they put him in the electric chair, he raped and murdered you, but he became a Christian when he was in the electric chair. And he's in heaven. Go over and say hello to him and give him a big hug, because he's a Christian. He can be your new dad in heaven. But your mummy, no, sorry about your mummy. Mummy was a good mummy, but she was an atheist. See, all I gather about the Bible is Jesus didn't care what you were believed in. Jesus was more concerned about, did you help the poor? Were you love everyone regardless of their colour? You weren't racist. You weren't selfish. You shared what you had. You helped refugees. You helped foreigners. You never judged people who were transgender. You treated everyone with love and kindness. You're good with me. I don't care what you believe in. I don't care. And I don't care what really anyone believes in. My wife doesn't care what I believe in. And I really don't care what my wife believes in. If she wants to be a Jehovah's Witness, I'm going to let her. I'm going to let her. The blood issue is a worry. The blood issue, that's a worry. And, well, when that time happens, if that ever happens, she has a medical directive. The saying, is there anybody you don't want involved in your medical treatment? She says, yes, my husband, Justin Porter. And I'm her carer. I'm on a carer's pension. Nikki has very loose bowels. She's got a bad liver. My wife has a very bad liver, and whatever she eats goes right through her. So I'm here to look after and care for her. And, you know, and I'm fine with her being a Jehovah's Witness, but when the blood issue ever comes, I'm going to make sure she lives. And I've said that to the doctors. And the doctors have said to me, well, Mr. Porter, your wife has a medical directive signed by an attorney. Now, her attorney is a Jehovah's Witness. It was signed by a Jehovah's Witness attorney. And they said, we have to respect her religious wishes, Mr. Porter. And I said, well, you know, I don't want her to die, you know. And over a belief, over a dangerous belief, because I believe that some beliefs are dangerous, like shunning. Colin Zafke, his daughter's only 16, and she got baptised at 9 years old. She got baptised, and at the age of 16, when you start thinking about things when you're 16, she realised that religion wasn't for her, and she dissociated, and now she's being shunned. She's lost all her family, friends, everyone she's ever known, and she's going to be suicidal. It's going to be suicidal. I left at the age of 57, dissociated, and my family aren't Jehovah's Witnesses, but all my spiritual family, and I felt suicidal. I felt suicidal for 5 years. 5 years. From 2018 to 2023, I was thinking about suicide all the time. And as an atheist, it's just death, it's nothingness, there's no... But the only thing that stopped me committing suicide was my beautiful wife, Nicole. I love my wife so much. She's really good, and I could never do that, you know. And if my wife ever died, I'm kind of tempted to suicide, but I'm 64 now, and I'm getting on, so I'm going to die anyway in the next 16 years. I've probably got about 16 years. You die around 80. It's about the average. That's if you're lucky. So as the older I get, I'm less suicidal, because I know death's going to come for me eventually, you know. But I hope you enjoyed this video, and I could be at the convention now and talking to people, because they can come up and say hello to you now, and it's so tempting. I said to Nikki, I'm really tempted to go to the meeting. And the other night I had a dream. That Nikki and I, Nicole and I, were going door-to-door witnessing. And we were with a car group of Jehovah's Witnesses, right? And Nick and I were doing house over house. And there was a double-decker house, and Nikki went up the stairs on this house, and I said, oh no, don't go upstairs and knock on the door. There's a door down here. Don't go up there and knock on the door. She says, no, I'm going to go upstairs. I'm going to knock on the door. So she went up this flight of stairs and knocked on this person's door. It was a balcony, you know, and the car came of witnesses. And they pulled up beside me and they said, get in, Justin, we're going to the convention now. We're going to the assembly now. I said, what about Nikki? She's at the door upstairs. And they said, don't worry. So I jump in the car and I go to the assembly, the convention day. And everyone's really nice to me at the convention, you know. I thought, oh, really? And I thought, if I go to the assembly day, they can say hello to you. They can give you conversation fractions. Jehovah's Witnesses can have blood fractions. They can accept blood fractions, but now Jehovah's Witnesses can accept conversation fractions. So they can say, come up and say, oh, Justin, it's so nice that you could come today. So lovely you're here. Bye then. But it's nice to see you. Bye. And I couldn't handle that. I'd rather be fully shunned. I'd rather the full shun treatment, thanks. The full shun gun. The shun gun, I want the full treatment, not just partial. Don't tease me. Don't tease me with, oh, hello, how nice to see you. Lovely you could come, Justin. Bye. No. I would rather have the 100% full shun treatment, thank you. I want 100% shunning, not the little partial bits, It's so silly, so childish. But watch Colin Zafke's live on his daughter Cassette and how she suicided, and support his channel. He does a wonderful job. And Ellie Reno, support her channel. She does a good job. And also Britt Hartley, the Atheist Spiritual Director, and her channel is called No Nonsense Spirituality, and she helps out atheists and agnostics, And Christians too. She helps out Christians too, and whoever, But thank you for listening, and by then, if I've still got toes after the cats ripped all the flesh off my toes, the cats ripped off the flesh of me toes, See them.